Hello, I'm Caven and welcome to ScaredyCatFilms. Today we're going to be breaking down Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead. This 1981 film is a staple in any horror fan's collection, with its awesome practical effects and backyard filmmaking techniques. Evil Dead, as well as its sequel, are actually the films that got me into horror and filmmaking, so they mean a lot to me. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. So let's follow a couple of teens and see how their trip to a cabin in the middle of the woods goes. We start the film with the classic Oldsmobile driving down a back road. In the Oldsmobile are 5 teenagers who we're going to spend the rest of the movie with. Driving the car is Scotty, who's with his girlfriend Shelly, who's riding shotgun. In the back seat we got Ashley, or how he'll be known for the rest of the series, just Ash, his girlfriend Linda, and his sister Cheryl.
Well, it might not be that bad.
No.
Actually, it might be kind of nice.
Yeah.
They pass a bridge and eventually pull up to their cabin getaway. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but a couple college kids will take whatever they can get. They make themselves at home and Cheryl shows off her art skills. Don't worry, Cheryl. Practice makes perfect. It's now dinner time and everyone enjoys their wonderful meal. Bruce Campbell then shows off some brilliant acting.
As a Greek friend of mine once said, he said, okay.
He's luckily interrupted by the cellar being opened by a ghost, maybe? Scotty is a macho man, so of course he goes to check out what's down there, with Ash following after. The two together find a shotgun, a dagger, a tape recorder, and the Book of the Dead. They bring the stuff back to the living room and everyone sits around the tape recorder. They're all probably hoping for some cool music, but unfortunately it's not. And rather it's a man named Professor Noby, reading from the Book of the Dead. Which isn't good. The words being read and coming from the tape trigger some demons, or, as they're known in this series, Deadites, to wake up and get spooky. Cheryl gets agitated that they're still playing the tape and leaves the cabin to go investigate some sounds. This is a really bad idea. She wanders out far into the woods for some reason, and, well, the woods come to life, attacking and doing some ungodly things to her. She's able to get away and make it back to the cabin, but she's all scratched up and worse for wear. Ash actually cares for his sister, so he decides to skip out on the fun with his buddies and take Cheryl back home. However, when they get to the bridge, they find it destroyed with no way back. They make it back to the cabin, and Ash decides it's a good idea to listen to the tape some more. He learns about possession and that a person has to be dismembered to get rid of the Deadite possessing them. Linda and Shelly are playing with cards, trying to guess the suit and number. Cheryl is just staring out the window, but is somehow able to correctly name what's on the cards.
4 of hearts, 8 of spades, 2 spades, jack of diamonds, jack of clubs.
She turns around looking pretty bad and starts to float. She then lets everyone know exactly what's going to happen in the movie.
One by one we will take you.
She falls to the floor, and when Linda gets close to make sure she's okay, Cheryl uses her trusty pencil to stab her in the ankle. Ash is just thrown to the side into a bookshelf, so Scotty comes to the rescue, locking Cheryl in the cellar. Everyone freaks out for a little bit, and Shelly decides she needs to be alone. An unseen force bursts through her window. Scotty hears the window break and goes to check it out. He can't seem to find Shelly and decides to check the shower. Well, guess she must have... Oh shit! Shelly is now a Deadite and starts to attack Scotty. They make their way to the living room and Scotty throws her into the fireplace. This doesn't really seem to stop her, so he stabs her with the dagger they found in the basement, which is called the Kandarian dagger, and it seems to do some damage, but Shelly gets right back up and walks towards Scotty. Ash has an axe, but he's not the cool Ash from the sequels yet, so he's too afraid to do anything. Scotty has to take it from him, and he himself dismembers Shelly, cutting off all her limbs.
But it's
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna bury her.
You can't bury Shelley. She's a friend of ours.
Ah, she's dead.
Scotty goes ahead and buries Shelley, despite Ash's concerns. He decides he has to leave and try to find the nearby town, leaving Ash alone. Now left in the cabin is just Ash, his possessed sister, and his unconscious girlfriend. Speaking of unconscious girlfriend, Ash decides to go check on Linda and sees the wound made by the pencil getting infected, and it spreads through her body. She springs up and is also possessed now. Ash is, well, frightened by this, and runs away to the front door of the cabin.
Help me!
Scotty comes stumbling back already, complaining about the woods not letting him leave. Ash sits him down onto the couch where he succumbs to his wounds and dies. R.I.P. Scotty. Linda shows up mocking Ash, and he just straight up drags her outside and leaves her there. Her moving on the ground is actually terrifying right here. She comes right back inside and attacks Ash. He stabs her with the dagger and brings her outside again, this time bringing her to the shed to dismember her with a chainsaw. Ash can't really bring himself to do it, so instead he just buries her. She decides to kill Bill herself out of the ground and attacks Ash once again. This time he decapitates her with a shovel, finally taking care of her for good. Ash goes back to the cabin and notices the cellar now wide open, meaning, well, Cheryl's probably out. Armed with a shotgun from earlier, he looks around for her. She's just chilling outside now and grabs him from the window. He's able to get a good shot off on her and runs to shut the front and back doors. He realizes he needs some more shells for a shotgun and remembers seeing some in the cellar, so he goes to find some. Some freaky stuff happens here, like some blood in a light bulb and Ash hearing voices, but he is able to find some shells. He gets back upstairs where his sanity doesn't really get any better. Cheryl shows up and attacks Ash. He tries to barricade the door, but Scotty comes back as a Deadite and attacks him as well. The two Deadites overpower and get Ash on the ground, with Cheryl beating him with a fire poker. Ash is able to get the Book of the Dead and tosses it into the fireplace, which burns it. This causes both Deadites to freeze where they are. Ash watches in shock as the Deadites die and we get some cool practical effects. This main demon thing bursts through the bodies of Cheryl and Scotty, getting blood all over Ash. Now with the Deadites dead and the sun rising, Ash takes a step outside, the only survivor of a terrible night, to go and live a happy life. Or not. And that's the original Evil Dead, a classic horror film that spawned a franchise and is still going strong today with the new movie, Evil Dead Rise, coming soon. The sequels lean more into the comedy and play more like slapstick, where this movie is just straight horror. Next time we'll take a look at Evil Dead 2, which a lot of fans of the franchise consider their favorite film of the bunch. Then we'll finish off the franchise breakdowns with Army of Darkness, which is Evil Dead 3, and the Evil Dead remake directed by Fede Alvarez. The Starz show Ash vs. the Evil Dead is in continuity with the original trilogy, however that's a TV show, so may or may not do it. I'm sticking to movies for now. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown, and if you did, leave a like. If you want to see more breakdowns like this one, make sure to subscribe for future videos. And if there's a movie or franchise you want me to break down, just go ahead and leave it in the comments, and yeah, have a good day.